Shu Yi Lin Yan stood silently outside the grand wedding venue, her heart heavy with regret and sorrow. The absence of Shu Yi at the ceremony weighed heavily on her family's conscience, leaving an air of unspoken blame lingering in the air. As she handed over the substantial sum of money to her family, a mixture of relief and anguish washed over her.
"Take this money. Here's the villa key. It's your home now,"
she whispered, her voice barely audible over the bustling sounds of the celebration. Her father, burdened by the responsibility of ensuring his mother's surgery fees were paid on time, had arranged this marriage as a means to an end.
"As long as Mom's surgery fee is paid on time, I can marry anyone,"
she had declared, her eyes reflecting both determination and desperation. The pressure to secure their family's future was immense, and Shu Yi felt trapped in a situation she had never envisioned for herself. The opulent villa, now hers, stood as a stark contrast to Shu Yi's modest beginnings. Every corner echoed with the whispers of luxury, a reminder of the life she was thrust into. Her grandmother, a formidable woman with a heart softened by years of hardship, had promised to take good care of her.
"Grandma, I promise I'll take good care of him,"
Shu Yi had assured, her voice laced with both hope and uncertainty. The promise was more than a mere statement. It was a vow to navigate the complexities of her arranged marriage with grace and resilience. Meanwhile, Mr. G sat in his opulent office, contemplating the complexities of his own arranged marriage. He and Shu Yi had been married for a year, yet they had scarcely met each other. The prospect of marrying someone purely for financial gain weighed heavily on his conscience.
"A woman who'd marry anyone for money? Can she even be our family's young lady?"
he pondered, frustration evident in his voice as he spoke to his confidant. The grandiosity of his office, filled with accolades and symbols of success, felt empty without a meaningful connection to his spouse. Despite the challenges, Mr. G remained steadfast in his commitment.
"Where are you? I sang a new song."
Shu Yi had reached out to him, her voice carrying a melody that resonated deeply within him. Her songs had been a source of solace during his toughest times, and he felt an inexplicable connection to her voice. Her resilience and unwavering dedication to her family's needs mirrored his own struggles, creating an unspoken bond between them that neither fully understood yet. One evening, Mr. G decided to attend an interview at Star Music, a prominent record company in Binhai that had recently been acquired by his own company, Coastal Music Academy. The anticipation of rekindling his passion for music was palpable.
"Finally, I have a chance to be a singer again,"
he mused, excitement and hope shining in his eyes. The prospect of merging his professional aspirations with his personal life seemed almost serendipitous, offering a glimpse of purpose beyond the rigid expectations of his arranged marriage. As Shu Yi navigated her new life in the luxurious villa, she struggled with the reality of her arranged marriage. Her grandmother had promised to take good care of her, but Shu Yi's mind was consumed with thoughts of her mother's impending surgery.
"Anyway, it was to get money for my mom's treatment. That's why I married him,"
she confessed quietly, her voice tinged with resignation. The weight of responsibility pressed down on her, but Shu Yi's determination never wavered. She was resolved to honor her family's sacrifices, even if it meant sacrificing her own happiness. Mr. G, ever observant, noticed the innocence and kindness in Shu Yi's demeanor.
"Your innocence and kindness might fool my grandma, but they won't fool me,"
he declared firmly during one of their rare conversations. Over the years, he had encountered many women seeking financial gain, but Shu Yi was different.
"Save your tricks and schemes. Peace is best. No one can save you otherwise. Hope you're only in it for the money. Don't get greedy,"
he warned, his skepticism evident. Yet, beneath his stern exterior, there was a hint of curiosity about Shu Yi's true intentions. Shu Yi, determined to fulfill her promise, responded with unwavering resolve.
"Honestly, I'm in it for the money. I took your grandma's money. I must do what I promised her. This marriage to me is no different from a job. Then sign a contract. The contract lasts a year. We won't interfere with each other. After 1 year, we'll go our separate ways. I'll take care of you this year. After the divorce, I'll give you more money."
she proposed, her voice steady despite the emotional turmoil within her. Her proposal was both a strategic move and a heartfelt plea for understanding, blending pragmatism with genuine emotion. Mr. G, sensing her sincerity yet skeptical of her intentions, agreed to the contract.
I agree to the contract, but I only take what's mine. Let's see how long you can pretend.
He challenged, a hint of determination in his voice.
Pleasure working with you. If you want, you can find me. I'm at the Coastal Music Academy,
She added, signaling the beginning of their unconventional partnership. The contract was more than a legal agreement. It was the foundation of a fragile relationship built on mutual necessity and unspoken hopes. As days turned into weeks, Shu Yi immersed herself in her new environment, balancing her responsibilities at home with her burgeoning career at Star Music. Her dedication did not go unnoticed.
Shu Yi's skills are solid.
Remarked one of her colleagues, impressed by her talent and work ethic. The studio buzzed with creative energy, and Shu Yi found herself gradually becoming an integral part of the team. Her presence brought a fresh perspective, and her commitment inspired those around her to strive for excellence. However, not everyone viewed Shu Yi with admiration. A fellow employee, Xia Shu Yi, harbored resentment towards her.
How could she steal the spotlight? She stole my song back then. Now you want me to be your backup singer?
Xia Shui confronted Shu Yi, her voice dripping with contempt.
Xu Xiaoyuan would never steal your song,
She asserted, her anger barely contained. The tension between them was palpable, creating an undercurrent of hostility that threatened to disrupt the harmonious atmosphere of Star Music. The tension between them set the stage for a complex web of emotions and conflicts that would soon unravel within the walls of Star Music. Shu Yi, undeterred by Xia Shuyi's hostility, focused on her work with unwavering dedication. Her genuine passion for music and her desire to support her family propelled her forward, even in the face of adversity. She believed that her hard work and talent would eventually earn her the respect and recognition she deserved. One evening, as Shu Yi prepared for an important audition, she reflected on her journey.
Your innocence and kindness might fool my grandma, but they won't fool me.
Mr. G had warned her. Yet, Shu Yi's unwavering determination to support her family and her genuine passion for music propelled her forward. The audition was not just a step towards her dreams, but also a lifeline for her mother's well-being. She practiced tirelessly, pouring her heart into every note, every lyric, hoping that her sincerity would resonate with the judges. At the Coastal Music Academy, the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. Aspiring singers showcased their talents, each vying for a chance to make their mark in the competitive industry. Shu Yi, with her heartfelt performances, stood out amidst the crowd, earning the attention and admiration of those around her. Her voice, a blend of vulnerability and strength, captivated audiences and critics alike. She felt a sense of belonging she had never experienced before, a place where her dreams seemed within reach. Despite the mounting pressure and the challenges she faced, Shu Yi remained resolute in her pursuit of her dreams.
I've always wanted to show my best self to my fans. I used to improve my singing skills. I believe this new song, if it has any special meaning, it must be full of sincerity. I believe after listening to this song, everyone will feel love and hope. This is what I've been trying to pass on to you,
She shared during an interview, her eyes shining with genuine emotion. Her words were a testament to her dedication and her unwavering belief in the power of music to heal and inspire. As the days progressed, the dynamics between Shu Yi, Mr. G, and Xia Shu Yi became increasingly intricate. The once clear lines between duty and passion, obligation and love began to blur, leading each character down a path filled with unexpected twists and heartfelt revelations. Mr. G found himself drawn to Shu Yi's authenticity, while Shu Yi grappled with her growing feelings and the moral complexities of their arrangement. Their interactions, though initially transactional, began to hint at deeper emotions that neither fully understood yet. One afternoon, Mr. G invited Shu Yi to discuss the future of her career at Star Music.
Shu Yi, your dedication and talent have not gone unnoticed. I believe you have the potential to become a star.
he commended, a rare smile gracing his usually stern features. Shu Yi felt a surge of gratitude and hope.
Thank you, Mr. G. I promise to give my all.
She responded, her voice filled with determination. The encouragement from Mr. G bolstered her confidence, reaffirming her belief that she was on the right path. However, not everything was smooth sailing. Xia Shuyi's jealousy simmered beneath the surface, threatening to disrupt the harmony within the company.
Why doesn't Grandma wait for me? I can do this myself. Go ahead with your work.
Shu Yi's grandmother had advised her, but Jia Shu Yi's resentment only grew stronger.
She stole my song, and now she wants to steal my spotlight.
Xia Shu Yi fumed, her frustration evident to those around her. Her confrontations with Shu Yi became more frequent and intense, creating an atmosphere of tension and rivalry. The internal struggles within Star Music mirrored the external pressures faced by Shu Yi. The competitive nature of the industry, coupled with personal vendettas and hidden agendas, created a volatile environment. Shu Yi found herself navigating not only the challenges of her arranged marriage, but also the complexities of her professional life. Her journey was no longer just about financial survival. It was about finding her true self amidst the chaos. One evening, as the sun set over the Coastal Music Academy, Shu Yi sat alone in her room, reflecting on the events that had unfolded.
I've come so far, yet the path ahead remains uncertain.
She mused, her thoughts swirling with a mix of hope and doubt. The melody of her latest song lingered in her mind, a testament to her enduring spirit and unwavering resolve. She wondered if her sacrifices would ultimately lead her to the happiness she so desperately sought. Mr. G, too, found himself at a crossroads. His initial skepticism towards Shu Yi had given way to a deep-seated respect and admiration for her resilience.
Shu Yi, you've proven yourself time and again. Perhaps there's more to this arrangement than I initially thought,
he confessed, his voice tinged with genuine appreciation. Shu Yi met his gaze, sensing the shift in their relationship, a shift that hinted at the possibility of something more profound than either had anticipated. Their bond, initially forged out of necessity, began to evolve into something deeper, fueled by mutual respect and shared experiences. As the chapter drew to a close, the intertwined lives of Shu Yi, Mr. G, and Xia Shu Yi set the stage for a narrative filled with love, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of one's dreams. The journey of Shu Yi Lin Yan was just beginning, and the challenges ahead promised to test her strength, character, and the bonds that held her together. The delicate balance between duty and desire, between personal aspirations and familial obligations, would shape the unfolding story, leading each character towards their own destiny. The following morning dawned bright and clear over Binhai, casting a soft glow across the lush gardens of the opulent villa. Inside its walls, Shu Yilin Yan rose before sunrise, her mind already buzzing with thoughts of upcoming rehearsals and recording sessions at Coastal Music Academy. Although her arranged marriage to Mr. G had begun as a mere transactional agreement, she found herself slowly growing more comfortable in this new life, one where the lines between duty and genuine passion began to blur. Over at Coastal Music Academy, the corridors hummed with activity. Producers, instructors, and aspiring singers bustled about, each carrying their own dreams of success. Shu Yi, now recognized as a rising talent, navigated the building with a sense of newfound confidence. Between her responsibilities as Mrs. G and her dedication to perfecting her craft, her days had become a delicate balancing act. Meanwhile, in his spacious corner office, Mr. G sifted through the latest progress reports on Shu Yi's performances. His assistant, Lan Jie, quietly placed a stack of documents on his desk. Lan Jie, quietly,
Mr. G, these are the newest charts on Shu Yi's recent releases. Her online followers keep increasing, and her audition scores have attracted significant attention.
Mr. G, nodding thoughtfully.
I see. She has exceeded all my initial expectations. Make sure she has the right resources and support.
Lan Jie left, and Mr. G leaned back in his chair. The more he saw of Shu Yi, Her unwavering dedication and the gentle sincerity she brought to every note, the more his guarded skepticism gave way to a quiet admiration. He remembered her initial words that she was in the marriage for the money, yet everything in her demeanor suggested deeper motivations and a heart that genuinely cared. Despite Shu Yi's progress, tensions simmered behind the scenes. Over at Star Music, a division under Coastal Music Academy's umbrella, the environment grew increasingly competitive. Xia Shuye, another artist who felt overshadowed by Shu Yi's rapid ascent, harbored a lingering resentment. Xia Shuyi, muttering under her breath,
I've been here longer. How can she just waltz in and steal the spotlight? If she thinks she can surpass me that easily, she has another thing coming.
The discontent in Xia Shuyi's voice did not go unnoticed. Some staff members whispered among themselves, others tried to maintain a neutral stance, yet the friction was palpable. Shu Yi remained mostly unaware of the extent of this hostility. Her focus remained steadfast on her performances and her mother's upcoming surgery costs. One crisp afternoon, Mr. G requested a private meeting with Shu Yi in a small conference room overlooking the academy's verdant courtyard. Sunlight streamed through tall windows, illuminating dust motes that danced in the air. Mr. G, with quiet seriousness,
Shu Yi, your latest auditions have been stellar, and your commitment is impressive. I want you to perform at the upcoming Binhai Music Festival. It's a significant event where top industry names gather.
Shu Yi's eyes widened in excitement. The festival was known to catapult lesser-known talents into the spotlight. Shu Yi, bowing respectfully.
Thank you, Mr. G. I promise to give it my all. It's an incredible opportunity.
Mr. G, smiling faintly.
You've earned it. And if there's anything you need, song arrangement, rehearsal space, or moral support, don't hesitate to ask.
Shu Yi left the meeting with her heart pounding in a mix of gratitude and nerves. This invitation felt like her dream inching closer to reality. Though she tried not to read too much into it, she couldn't deny that Mr. G's words carried warmth beyond mere business. As news of Shu Yi's invitation to perform at the Binhai Music Festival spread, so did the ripples of envy. Xia Shu Yi, in particular, took it hard. The day the announcement went public, she confronted Shu Yi in the studio hallway, her voice trembling with bitterness. Xia Shu Yi, clenching her fists.
You think you're special? You think you can become a star overnight just because Mr. G's got your back?
Shu Yi, remaining calm.
This isn't about favoritism. I'm just doing my best.
Xia Shu Yi, interrupting bitterly.
Don't act so innocent. You took my song once. Now you're taking everything else.
Others who overheard tried to diffuse the tension, but Shu Yi simply stood her ground without anger. Over time, her refusal to rise to Xia Shu Yi's bait only fueled the latter's resentment. It was a precarious dance, one that threatened to unravel whenever the two women were in the same room. With the festival on the horizon, Shu Yi plunged into rehearsals with unwavering focus. Late nights and early mornings became routine as she fine-tuned her vocals and stage presence. Her grandmother's health and financial concerns pressed at the edges of her mind, but for those precious hours in the rehearsal studio, she poured her entire soul into music. One evening, as she exited the practice room well after dusk, she found Mr. G waiting for her in the corridor. He seemed more at ease in casual attire, a contrast to his usual polished suits. Mr. G, crossing his arms, smiling slightly.
You've been working late. Don't forget to rest or you'll run out of energy before the festival.
Shu Yi, lowering her gaze politely.
Thank you for your concern. I just want to make the most of this opportunity.
Mr. G, softening his tone.
I understand, but don't push yourself too hard. The festival is important, but so is your well-being.
It was a quiet exchange, marked by an unspoken warmth. In that moment, Shu Yi realized how much Mr. G's support had come to mean to her, far beyond the confines of their initial contract. The day of the Binhai Music Festival arrived in a flurry of lights, cameras, and palpable excitement. Coastal Music Academy's stage area was transformed into a vibrant performance venue, complete with state-of-the-art equipment and a massive LED backdrop showcasing each artist's name. Backstage, Shu Yi's heart pounded with anticipation. She wore an elegant outfit, simple yet striking, and clutched the microphone in slightly trembling hands. As she peeked past the curtains, the vast audience stretched before her like a restless sea. She closed her eyes, recalling the promise she had made to herself and to her mother. Shu Yi, whispering to herself.
I want my voice to reach them, let them feel hope and love.
When she finally stepped onto the stage, the spotlight found her, and for a moment, the entire world seemed to pause. Then the opening notes played, and Shu Yi began to sing. Her voice, both delicate and powerful, soared through the venue. The audience watched, transfixed, as her heartfelt ballad reverberated off the walls, carrying raw emotion that brought many to tears. Thunderous applause erupted as Shu Yi finished her final note. She bowed gracefully, her chest heaving with relief and exhilaration. Backstage, she was greeted with congratulatory smiles and pats on the back. Even some who had once doubted her talent now offered genuine praise. Lan Jie, clapping excitedly.
Shu Yi, you were amazing out there. The crowd loved you.
Xia Shu Yi, quietly, trying not to let envy color her words.
I admit it. You did well.
Shu Yi appreciated every kind word, but her gaze instinctively searched for Mr. Ji. She spotted him standing off to the side, arms folded, wearing the faintest smile of pride. Their eyes met, and though no words passed between them, something unspoken seemed to settle, a new level of mutual respect and warmth. Yet, as so often happens at moments of triumph, shadows lurked at the edges of the spotlight. A stranger approached Shu Yi during the after-party, pressing a discreet envelope into her hands. The man vanished into the crowd before she could question him. Inside the envelope were a few documents hinting at financial irregularities within Coastal Music Academy. Stunned, Shu Yi realized the papers suggested serious wrongdoing, embezzlement, hidden debts, and someone behind the scenes pulling dangerous strings. Her thoughts spun with questions. Who was behind it all, and why approach her? The documents hinted that Mr. G might be entangled in something far more complex than an ordinary CEO's responsibilities. That same night, while Mr. G was mingling with festival guests, Shu Yi slipped away to a quiet corner to study the documents. Each line of text seemed to pull her deeper into a confusing web of financial misconduct. She had little context for how these pieces fit together, but the implications were grave. Suddenly, a familiar voice broke her concentration. Shu Xiaoyuan, softly.
I see you got the same envelope as me.
Startled, Shu Yi looked up to find Shu Xiaoyuan, a figure whose name often surfaced whenever there was talk of sabotage or controversy. Her eyes flickered with a strange mixture of anxiety and determination. Shu Yi, wary.
You have these documents too? What does it mean?
Shu Xiaoyuan, lowering her voice.
It means something's rotten in this academy, and if we're not careful, we'll be the scapegoats. I don't trust many people around here, but the person who gave me these said you're sincere, and we both need to uncover the truth.
Though they barely knew each other, the gravity of the information demanded cooperation. They agreed to keep the documents hidden while they pieced together the bigger picture. Little did Shu Yi know, this uneasy alliance would become crucial in unraveling secrets that could threaten everything she cared about. Unaware of Shu Yi's secret discovery, Mr. Ji congratulated her once more before departing for a late-night meeting. As she watched him leave, Shu Yi's emotions churned. The man she had initially married for money now felt like a pillar of support, someone whose approval she valued deeply. If he was truly involved in scandalous activities, how could she reconcile that with the person she believed him to be? Shu Yi, thinking aloud, voice trembling.
Mr. G has given me nothing but help. I can't believe he'd do something illegal. But these documents, they tell a different story.
Caught between her budding feelings and her moral compass, Shu Yi resolved to be cautious. She couldn't accuse Mr. G of wrongdoing without proof, but she also couldn't ignore the evidence pointing to rampant corruption at high levels. Days turned into weeks as Shu Yi juggled her blossoming music career, her contract-bound marriage, and the covert investigation. Late one night, she returned home to find Mr. G in the living room, looking more weary than she had ever seen him. Mr. G exhaling deeply.
I've been meaning to talk to you, Shu Yi.
Shu Yi, heart pounding.
Is something wrong?
Mr. G running a hand through his hair.
I discovered financial discrepancies at Star Music and parts of Coastal Music Academy. At first, I tried handling it quietly, but it's bigger than I thought. Someone is siphoning funds and forging my name on certain documents.
Shu Yi's mind reeled. Was it possible he was as much a victim as she might be? Mr. G, earnest, stepping closer.
I suspect one of the high-ranking officials is behind it. I'm sorry to drag you into this, but I need your help. You've earned the trust of many here, and you see things I can't.
Relief, fear, and an unspoken tenderness flooded Shu Yi's thoughts all at once. If Mr. G was genuinely seeking the truth, their alliance could expose the corruption, and yet it also put them both in danger. Shu Yi, voice shaking slightly.
I'll help you any way I can.
With their partnership sealed by mutual concern, Mr. G and Shu Yi moved forward in tandem with Xu Xiaoyuan. Quietly, they gathered more data, verified the forged signatures, and followed the money trails leading to hidden accounts. Tensions rose within the academy. Whispers of suspicion floated among the staff. Doors that were once open suddenly slammed shut. In a final climactic push, the trio presented their mountain of evidence to a small circle of trusted board members. Shock and outrage ensued as the documents laid bare an elaborate embezzlement scheme by individuals at the top. Legal authorities were brought in, and a swift crackdown followed. News of the scandal rocked the music world. Coastal Music Academy's leadership purged the corrupt figures, and Mr. G, cleared of suspicion, spearheaded major reforms to restore transparency. The ordeal had taken its toll on everyone involved, yet it also fostered a new sense of unity. Shu Yi, though initially just a contract bride and an aspiring singer, had evolved into a figure of integrity and courage in the eyes of the academy. Even Xia Shu Yi, having cooperated in the investigations, found a measure of redemption and a renewed sense of camaraderie with Shu Yi. Xia Shu Yi, softly, in the studio lounge.
I misjudged you. You're not just chasing money or fame. You're genuinely trying to do the right thing.
Shu Yi, smiling warmly.
We've both had our struggles. I'm just glad we can move forward without grudges.
For Mr. G and Shu Yi, the closing of this scandalous chapter marked a profound shift in their personal relationship. They had stood side by side, exposing corruption and safeguarding the Academy's future. What began as an emotionless contract had blossomed into genuine respect, mutual support, and the possibility of love that neither had planned for. In the weeks that followed, the Coastal Music Academy and Star Music rose from the ashes of controversy, rejuvenated by fresh leadership and a vow to uphold integrity. Shu Yi continued to hone her craft, her performances now resonating with an added depth inspired by the trials she had overcome. Mr. G, for his part, realized that life was about more than contracts and business deals. Human connection and moral conviction mattered most. One evening, as the sun painted the horizon in pink and gold, Shu Yi stood on an outdoor stage, performing a new composition that spoke of resilience and hope. In the front row, Mr. G watched her intently, a discreet smile curving his lips. Their eyes met for a lingering moment, silent recognition of how far they had come. Their story was no longer just a tale of convenience and obligations. It had become a testament to the power of kindness, courage, and the transformative nature of love. Despite everything left to navigate, family expectations, past wounds, and the music industry's relentless demands, Shu Yi and Mr. G stood ready to face it all together. If you enjoyed this story, there's another video on screen right now. Go ahead and give it a look for an even more astonishing tale. And don't forget, we'll have many more uplifting and dramatic stories coming your way, so make sure you subscribe to our channel. That way, you'll never miss our newest uploads.